Welcome back to the Everything Goes Podcast with your host, TAK. A weekly podcast with the latest sports news, the hottest of the hot takes, and the best predictions you can get. Now, Chris, Ace, take it away.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to your favorite podcast, the Everything Goes Podcast. Not with TAK, with TK. No, Ace has some stuff he's dealing with today, so
just the two of us.
It's just the two of us, just like old times. Where to start, man? Playoffs all around going on right now with the NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs are on fire right now. Kings are up 2-0 over the Warriors. I mean, who would have guessed? We'll get into that. Panthers, the 8 seed tie Boston, the 1 seed in the NHL playoffs, as there's just so much amazing games going on in overtime. Scherzer suspended 10 games, which was, if you listen to the video, it's insane, and we'll dive into it for violating prohibitions on foreign substance, but we'll dive into it. And the Texans, they're not sold on a QB at number 2 yet, so defensive tackle, Trey Lance, what's going to happen there? But welcome back to the Everything Goes Podcast with just TK today. TK.
I mean, it means nothing to you and I, but today is a national holiday. For some states, it's 420.
420.
Some people partake in that, and apparently in Colorado, it's like Mardi Gras here. It's like a festival. I mean,
really?
There's probably so much smoke down in Denver that you could probably see it from space. But from what everyone told me at work today, they're like, man, it's crazy. Denver's jumping in general, man. I mean, I just heard on the radio that CU, they sold out all their home games since Deion Sanders
College
is there.
Football, I saw that. That's a great thing for them. Good for them. You know what you go to a game.
Their black and gold game is it's sold out, but their black and gold game is this Saturday. It's on ESPN. They had 25 kids transfer out of CU since Deion's been there. They just had
He's getting a good culture in there.
They just had a big defensive end that just left. He had 17 starts last year, had 53 tackles, and great numbers. He said bye to CU. So
survival of the fittest. If they're leaving, it's because they don't have a good mindset. Because he's turning that mindset to win. They sold out their season tickets, which is amazing because your season tickets are very important. Those are your loyal people that usually get a lot of money going for you. That's insane. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see how they do it, and I'm excited to see if his son starts at quarterback because his son was good at Jackson State.
I love what he's doing. He hasn't given out any numbers yet. Like, these guys have to earn their numbers. I think only one kid got a number or something like that besides his son. He's a top recruit that came in there with Deion, so he got a number. But, like these guys, you watch them on TikTok of what they do, man. Schools need more coaches like this.
Schools need more coaches like that.
They really do. A lot of discipline, earn everything, fight for everything, work hard at everything you do, and you're battling for everything, even just going head to head in the simple drills. He wants them to be challenging each other. And that's, what I think the goal for them, they only won 1 game last year. I think the goal for them is to win at least 6, make a bowl game, and it'll be a good season for them.
I like too and there obviously are other coaches that you just don't see a lot of this on the internet because his other son is good with social media and videos and YouTube. So he videotapes a lot of this stuff, but like just seeing Deion change the culture there, just as far as like, I've seen clips where he's got everyone in the meeting room, you're going to be here on time. You're not going to be late. You're going to dress a certain way. You're not going to be wearing slides and Crocs. You're going to be dressing appropriate to practices, to games. When you see employees, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, like they're here to help you and they are taking care of you. So you're going to respect them. Just the whole mindset that he is changing there about winning, about working hard, about this isn't just, we're going to roll over and it's going to be an easy kind of system, an easy kind of university. Like you said, those are good coaches, like growing up, that help you become a better man.
Yeah, and another thing I like too about football, what's going on now with all these spring games, Arch Manning found out that your name's not going to carry weight in college football. I mean, he had his I guess they call it the orange and white game. I don't know what it is. It's their spring game.
Is he in college already?
Yeah, he graduated early from high school, and he looked like a high school player playing college football. He was 5 of 16 for 30 yards. And Steve Sarkisian came out and just basically said that they know who their starter is, and it's not going to be Arch Manning.
He'll get help though from his family though, like as far as training to become a better athlete and stuff.
Well, they have that kid I think his name's Quinn Ewers or something like that. The kid's amazing. He had great stats last year. He went 16 of 23 for like almost 200 yards.
Well, Texas was good last year, and their starting quarterback got injured.
Yeah. So, and I think what they should do is they should redshirt Manning, let him get some time behind, the other players on that team because he looked bad, and they're going to the SEC, so it's it's not going to be easy for them. So I like the fact that they came out now. There's no more pressure on him to be the big man there. They're going with yours, and it gives him time to grow. But he definitely looked like a high school kid playing amongst
Yeah,
men.
and he'll learn. I think it was you that said on this podcast, a couple months ago that they got the number one recruit last year and the next, obviously with Arch Manning. So yeah, I think it was Tyrann Mathieu that tweeted out recently and was like, I'm kind of sick of the whole transfer portal because
Yeah.
when I was in school at LSU, he listed off some of these great players that he played behind, and he was like, it taught me how to be a better player. It taught me how to work hard for something that I really wanted. Because, he's basically getting at it's just so easy to transfer out of a university because the situation's hard and you're not winning the battle that you could just go to another school and go compete. Which I mean, I see both sides. I see like if you don't have a chance to play, like, and you have another chance to go play somewhere else and show your talent, almost like some of these other football leagues. But like, I do agree, like, if you don't start your first year, it's okay. Work
Well,
hard.
the
Try and
thing that's
outdo that player ahead of you.
the thing that's good about the transfer portal is you can leave, but I don't think you should be able to leave after 1 year. I mean, if you're a quarterback and you're year 3 and you're still not playing, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Like Arch Manning, he's making the highest money as far as that nil goes, that name and likeness stuff.
Yeah.
I think he's making a few million a year. So do you think it bothers him to sit on the bench? No. But at the same token, just because,
I think it does. I think it does, though. I think when you're young like that, like you don't want to play the bench. You want to play, even though you're getting money, and you're probably having a lot of people saying in your ear, like, "Hey, it's okay. You're making a lot of money for the family." But but I want to play.
But the thing I like about it is that they're not just throwing him in there because of his name. They're making
I
him
love that.
earn everything.
I like
and
that.
I love that fact because the way it sounded, man, his name was in gold and he was the starter there. And I'm glad they came out and said, no, he's not. And we live in an age where I don't want to say it's soft, but it's soft. Where if things don't go your way, you have a way out now. You can go instead of working harder to become a starter. Let's just transfer to a smaller school, or let's just transfer somewhere else. And I think that's the way of the world right now. And it's not good for sports. It's not going to make you a better player if you don't get your way. You know what I mean? Making it better for yourself is working harder, digging deep, and fighting and grinding it out, and not going to another school where things are handed to you just because it's a smaller school. Just my opinion.
Yeah, I do like. I'm reading here too that the head coach did come out and said Quinn, however you say his last name, Ewers. Yeah, he did only play 10 games last year due to injury. Completed 58% of his passes for almost 3,000 pass yards, 15 touchdowns. And he did. He beat out Arch Manning. And they're saying here, obviously, it's a big name, like you said, but Texas head coach, he feels good about what he has in front of him and what this quarterback brings to the table. And he's going to get his first shot of a full season. And I agree. I like that. Just because you got a big name doesn't mean you can't sit behind the bench for a year or two and learn.
It's got to be a deflating feeling, though, knowing that like every year you see these schools bringing in new quarterbacks, new running backs, and you're the star of that team. It's got to put pressure on you to a point.
Like Ohio State. Like if you play for Ohio State, but at the same time, like I think that these big schools like Ohio State and Alabama and Georgia, I don't think I necessarily say Michigan, maybe for defense, but like I think that's why those 3 schools that I named, that when those rookies come out, like you think about Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson this year, wide receivers of the Jets and the Saints, like they looked like they've been playing the league for 2 to 3 years. And when they get asked in the interview, they say like it's the program. I mean, like you said, Dad, like if you are in a program where every single year you're getting 5-star recruits, there's 2 options you have. You can either be okay with the fact that you're on a huge school and you can compete and stuff and you might lose your spot, or you can work hard every single day because you know how much talent is behind you. And one bad move, that coach can be like, all right, you can sit the bench. There's another 5-star recruit behind you.
So it's like McNamara. McNamara 2 years ago from Michigan took Michigan through the whole season, won the Big Ten, beat Ohio State, went to a freaking championship series, lost the championship series, then lost the starting job.
It was a terrible game.
So it is.
But I believe JJ McCarthy from Michigan brings more to the table though than McNamara.
Well, he's more mobile.
I think the arm strength though and the arm accuracy is a lot better though, and I think I think the confidence and approach he brings as a quarterback, as a leader. And I like McNamara. I liked him. I thought he did good for us stepping in there and beating Ohio State.
You know my feeling on mobile quarterbacks. I'm not.
Yeah, but JJ doesn't run a lot though.
Yeah,
And sometimes though, sometimes you need that athletic ability that he's able to extend the plays, and you've seen the deep throw that he was able to produce this year by extending those plays and getting those touchdowns.
Yeah.
They'll be hating. Yeah. It was good. He's a good quarterback.
I'm just glad
JJ McCarthy might be the first Michigan quarterback that I've seen in my life that might get drafted in top 4 rounds.
I don't know about that. That's early yet.
That's not early. Come on, he's been to playoff game his first year as a starting quarterback.
It's still early. His numbers weren't like mind blowing. The team played great, had a great defense.
What's the last quarterback you've seen get drafted out of Michigan? Denard Robinson got turned into a running back.
Chad Henne, he got drafted. He wasn't first round. Chad Henne was a great quarterback.
He started with Jacksonville. Okay, yeah, I'm talking about like my lifetime though. I'm talking about the past 20 years. I guess Tom Brady. Let's say 10 years. All right, let's say it's 10 years because 20 years, obviously, I wasn't really watching.
Well, a lot of quarterbacks don't go in the first round anymore.
Who was the guy with like 2 years ago? He got undrafted free agent.
That Darnell Robinson.
No,
that was a few years ago.
I'm talking about like
he used to play with no. He used to play with no.
Denard Robinson turned into a running back.
Yeah, he used to play with no shoestrings in the shoes.
I'm talking about like 2-3 years ago. Our quarterback. He got picked up, and then he got let go. Can't think of his name. We'll think about it later.
I don't know.
Let's dive into some.
They'll come through the USFL or the XFL.
Yeah. That's what
the minor leagues.
Let's talk about some golf. I know you wouldn't discuss some golf and some of the tournaments that are going on real quick. So let's dive into that.
Well, last week we talked about Rory. I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast. Rory get fined $3 million. He's the number 3 world ranked.
He got fined $3 million.
I fined $3 million for withdrawing from the RBC Heritage event.
Oh.
It was a second absence. He missed the first one of the year, and I didn't know in the rules you're only allowed to miss. It says no specific reason for why he withdrew. He missed the cut at the Masters and he shot 5 over for 77 on Friday, and then he didn't make the cut. For players ranked in the top 20. Of the Impact program, which is a new program, are required to participate in designated events. And this event was designated, and he missed it. So they're strapping down, and they're fining people for this stuff now.
I mean, but that makes sense to get fined though, because you think about it, they have a big name, they're drawing in revenue, right? And then if you don't show up, these fans might be like, I don't want my ticket anymore. Yeah. So I get that. I get $3 million though, man. You must be making some good money if you're getting. You imagine you don't have that.
Was it John Rahm? He's got like $12 million already for the season. And he just made $3 million last week. 2 weeks ago at the Masters.
What happened to that league that was starting up? That they were just paying these guys.
They're still out there.
Is it going strong?
It's still. I mean, you don't hear about it. I don't hear nothing.
Because they were dropping hundreds of millions to all these players to come over.
They offered Tiger Woods $800 million to come play in that league.
That's great. Like, where do you get that money?
That's Saudi Arabia. That's oil money. They have money. They have money to play. You have princes and stuff over there and kings.
Oh, so you would be playing golf in Saudi Arabia. You wouldn't even be playing in the States.
They play in the States. They play all over the place. But they have oil money. They have a lot of fundage to just drop, Wow. They're serious. Like when they went WWE wrestling over there, they drop money for WWE wrestling to come over there, and they pay good money.
I heard this weird thing about Saudi Arabia that like, how in US, like the nicer the car you have, like people are like, oh, like he's got money. So in Saudi Arabia, like they produce so many nice cars that's not a thing for them. Like if you have a nice car, it is what it is. Everyone has a nice car. So this is weird, right? The way people know you're rich is by your license plate. The lower your license plate number, the more rich you are. And it's a weird thing because obviously in the US, we don't live by that. But like if you someone paid like a crazy amount of money to have just the number 1 on their license plate. It's weird stuff, man. Just different countries, but
dude, they make their own islands. Like they make
crazy.
Their own islands into the shape of palm trees and stuff. Yeah, they got serious money over there. But the RBC Heritage event was taking place last week, and Matthew Fitzpatrick outlasted Jordan Spieth in a shootout, like a couple of playoff holes. They both shot -17 for the event. There were 24 players who shot -10 or better. and there was over 60 players that shot -1 or better. Tournaments like that where you have like 24 people shooting -10 with high scores like that.
That's crazy.
Those are the kind of golf courses I need to learn how to go play on. They can seem kind of easy.
We need to get you driving golf
balls
I get and not swerving to the right.
Yeah, once I get past my slice problem. But anyway, my last thing for golf is Tiger Woods. He dropped out of the Masters and he had surgery. He's recovering from
having surgery again?
It's called subtalar fusion. It's a procedure where they take one of his bones and his ankle bone. It's called the calcaneus bone, his heel bone.
What?
I'm choking. And they fuse them together so this way he can have side-to-side movement, I guess, because of the last car accident he had. He was limping pretty harsh, man. He had a bad limp. And so they took those two bones and they fused them. He's going to be
They fused his ankle bone and his heel bone?
They fused his ankle bone and like all these bones together. So he's going to be non-weight bearing for 6 weeks. He's going to be in a cast or a boot for 8 to 12 weeks. So I doubt he's going to play anymore this year, but hopefully this helps him come back and, he can play and walk. Because like we talked about last time, you have to walk these courses. There's no medicals for
that's dumb.
Getting
a
cart
golf
or nothing.
cart.
And speaking of cards, Russell Wilson and one of his teammates accidentally flipped one into I guess a sand trap or something. So Russell Wilson, man, he's just making headlines everywhere you go out here in Denver. But that's all I have for golf. There is an event this week, but we'll talk about it next week when Aaron comes back.
Well, we'll talk. We'll I like golf. I don't. That's a lie.
I like it. I like trying to do it. I'm not good at it. I'm good with my irons and stuff like that. But once I get my driver down, it'll be more exciting because, I got to face like 90 degrees of opposite where I want to hit it because my slice is so bad. But we'll get there. I love it.
Well, something else is going on lately is the NHL playoffs, which, if you haven't heard, I think it was a couple podcasts ago, I officially became a Florida Panthers fan about 4 weeks ago now, give or take, because I just didn't really watch hockey for about 4 years. I live in Florida, wanted to support a Florida team. And the Florida Panthers made the playoffs. Pittsburgh Penguins lost. Florida Panthers were able to slide in. 8 seed, playing the number 1 seed, Boston. It's been a really fun series to watch so far. Panthers tied it up in Boston yesterday, 6-3, and they head back to Florida tomorrow for their home opener. Trying to go to it.
How far are you from Tampa Bay?
30 minutes. Oh, Tampa, like 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
I'm surprised you're not on the Lightning bandwagon. They've absolutely destroyed Toronto. The game 1, 7-3. I mean, and I you know what?
They're losing right now, 2-0.
I'm in a bracket, and I can't really talk about it. It's where they put all of our names on a wheel. They spun the wheel, and whenever it lands on those like 8 of us, and whoever it landed on, you get to pick right away what team you want. And for basketball, I was the 6th pick. I got the Sixers. And for hockey, I was the number 1 pick. I took the Bruins. And there is a President's Cup jinx. The team with the most points gets the President's Cup. And Boston had it last year and was eliminated in the first round. Well, I took the Bruins because they've been the best team, and they got destroyed last night. I remember messaging you saying, "Oh, yeah, Florida's not up now. It's not. It's tied
game." And then we kept going.
And then it was 2-1, and then it was
2-2, 3-3, and then we opened it up.
Yeah, it was open. But
we opened it up.
I'm not really I seriously haven't, like you said, I haven't been following hockey lately. But the playoffs are so exciting. I mean, Dallas came out last night, and Dallas and Minnesota series is crazy, just going back and forth. Dallas put up 6 points last night. Another good one was the Islanders. The Islanders went to overtime against Carolina. That
was an amazing pop to the crowd in that overtime. I mean, it looked like the Red Sea just went crazy. It's good games, man. Like, I forgot how much I loved hockey, and playoff hockey, is so good. I mean, the Oilers beat the Kings. I saw some of that game. One thing I wanted to say about the Panthers last night is that our goalie, Lions.
Alex Lyon, he's be a flyer.
Dude, he's there's like 3 flyers on this team. He had a 38 save game last night. The Panthers defense struggles at points. This guy makes amazing saves though. So that was really exciting. I mean, just good. He's
a professional minor leaguer. I mean, he's never really had a chance, and no one realizes that Florida was one of the hottest teams in hockey the last week of hockey. They were 6-1-1 or something like that, and Lyon was playing great. That's why he became the starter.
I think he subbed in for the starter, and then
he's holding things together. He's holding things together.
Yeah, he came in for like an injury and then they didn't pull him. But there's a lot of games going on right now, like the oh gosh, I can't read that.
The
Like you
Avalanche
said,
is going to play the Kraken tonight.
dude, the Kraken. This is their first play. They haven't won a. Did they win a playoff appearance yet? I think
It was their first game. They won. They won the first game. They went into Colorado, won the first game, and they shocked everybody.
they played today at 9:30 p.m. for game 2. Seattle's leads 1-0 yet.
The Avs are the number one team because they won their division and they're the defending Stanley Cup champions. And no one realized this, but the Kraken, they scored 100 points this year. There was a lot of teams that scored 100 points. They scored 40 points more than they did last year. This is a good team. This is a real good team. And that's the thing about hockey is hockey, you can be ranked the number one seed. That doesn't mean anything. I mean, if you look at the first few games, I think the first 8 games of the playoffs, the road teams, which are usually the higher seeded teams, were 6-2. The road teams are 6-2. Now that's changed. It's probably like 7-4 or 8-4 now, or whatever it is. But still, the road teams are winning. And if you can steal a game on the road and get home field advantage, man, it flips everything.
What is it? It's 4 out of 7.
Yeah, you have to win 4 out of 7.
Dude, if Panthers can. Oh, I wanted to tell you the 2 Flyers that are on the Panthers that you might remember is Goez and Voracek.
Man, Gudas likes to fight. He's a great defender.
Yeah, he does. He likes to fight.
Voracek I love Voracek
he was good
with the Flyers. Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, man, playoff atmosphere of hockey. I think one thing that's like I'm watching these games lately, and it's like the thing about hockey is like you're on the edge because every time they take the puck into your end, like one bad hop, one misread, or one blind spot that the goalie can't see, like it's not just like. I don't know. It's exciting. And when they score, it's exciting. I love it. I'm trying to go to tomorrow's game. It's like a 30-minute drive from here. So that's
not bad.
That's another reason why I picked them.
That.
That's another reason why I picked them.
There is nothing like playoff atmosphere.
Yeah.
Nothing like it.
And it's not like it's in Miami or something. Like it's kind of west, not like a big city. So.
But right now, as you said, Toronto is up 3-0 now on Tampa Bay in the first quarter. The Rangers are actually playing the Devils, which is another one. That's 2 good teams right there.
Yeah.
Rangers and Devils. I mean, there's a lot of rivalries there. I mean, you could see a lot of fights in that game just because they hate each other. And then I
had no idea where the Oilers were from. I had to look it up. It's somewhere in Canada.
Edmonton.
I can't even. Yeah, I didn't. It was like, where is that?
Yeah, I mean, a part of me I want to see, and I said this at work the other day. I want to see Canada win something because they haven't won the Cup since 1996.
Wow, it'd be cool to see Seattle go too. The Kraken.
Yeah, so like Edmonton was the most high scoring team in hockey this year. They scored the most goals. You have Winnipeg, who's up 1-0 on the Knights. So you have teams out there that can get it done. Toronto, man, is another one which I was surprised that they got blown out so bad in game 1. But you're only as good as your next game, so we'll see what happens.
Look out for them Panthers, man. That's all I gotta say. Look out for them Panthers. Hey, let's talk about NBA though, because the Sixers are currently getting ready to tip-off already happened. Actually, they're playing the Nets, which the Sixers are winning 2-0 that series. Sixers are up 2-0, and
92% of the teams up 2-0 win the series.
Hey, the Sixers haven't swept a playoff series since 1991. Everyone is saying they should be able to do it against the Nets. Like I said a couple weeks ago, I didn't even think the Nets were going to make the playoffs. But James Harden's playing well. Maxi's playing well. Harris is doing what he needs to do. Embiid is Embiid. He's becoming a CEO of just the Sixers organization. I mean, like he's the guy. Hey, James Harden, his last 3 playoff games, 127 minutes, 43 field goal attempts, 42 points, 29 assists. He's playing better. I remember last year we had the big talk about him playing. And
the only thing I don't like about him is where has his mid-range game gone?
Like his mid-range
jumper.
They were talking about that.
And the thing that scared me about the Sixers in game 1 and game 2, they took over 33-point shots. You know what I mean? That's a lot. I remember Michigan in going in the tournament, and that's all they lived and died with the threes.
Yeah, I remember that.
And my thing is you're so used to your home court and everything, and I know the dimensions are all the same, but when you get into a different facility and there's like different lighting and there's different obstacles, yes, I just don't want them to become that team like Right now, they're losing 21-15. I just don't want them to become the team that lives and dies with the three. I mean, you have the best big man in the game. Pound the rock. And I know they're double teaming Joel a lot, but it opens up an opportunity for somebody else then. But I think they got to drive more to the hole and stop living and dying with the three-pointer. Because right now the three-pointer's landing, but when it doesn't, I mean, game 2 was tight. Game 2 was real tight. They were trailing a lot in that game. And they just Brooklyn is what they are. They're a team filled with a bunch of people that just got traded and moved around.
Is Simmons playing?
Is not playing.
Or is Seth Curry playing? I don't remember if I saw him.
He's playing. But that's the thing, you're playing a team right now that's mediocre. And after this round, you get Toronto possibly. And if you get by Toronto, you're going to get Milwaukee possibly.
Yeah, because they've been beating up on the Heat.
You got to come up with a better game plan or you're going to be a one and done.
I think, seeing the addition of PJ Tucker in the offseason, everyone kind of questioned it. I love the whole rebounds that he's good at getting the rebounds. He's good at being a defensive player. And I feel like we lacked some of that last playoff season. I feel like we weren't good with the rebounds. We weren't good with defense. We live and die by the three and try and make the big playmakers kind of thing like you were saying. So,
well, the biggest thing is we got a bigger bench, and that's what we talked about.
I agree.
Tyrese Maxey, huge. He's stepping up. McDaniels stepping up. Paul Reed has been playing phenomenal behind Joel Embiid. And then you have DeAnthony Melton. You have guys that can actually shoot the ball. The biggest thing that I hated was that the Sixers got rid of Curry because I hate Niang.
I mean, we got Harden though.
When I say hate, I don't hate. I just.
But he's not bad. He makes his shots.
No. I mean, that guy could be 1 for 15 and keep just chucking. That's the thing.
It's true, but sometimes he can be 10 for 12 though.
He's like Russell. He's like Westbrook. Westbrook the other night was like 3 for 18, and then he got the game-winning block, and he was a superstar.
You see Westbrook though? He's turned it up in the playoffs. He's been playing hard against KD.
He's playing great defense. But
did you see the defense that him and CP did against KD?
Yes, but my thing is, come on, man. It's just if your shot's not there, don't keep shooting and chucking it up like that. But right now it's 24-20. Sixers are rolling. Joel Embiid has 2 points. Tobias Harris has 2 points. Maxey is leading the way again. Maxey had like 30-plus points last game. He's got 12 points. Harden has 2 points, and Tucker has 2 points. So Maxey's leading right now, the Sixers in scoring, which...
Wait, how many points did you say Maxey has already?
Got 12 points already.
Oh, I thought you said 31 for some reason. I was like, what?
He had 30-plus in the last
other day. Gotcha.
He carried the Sixers the last game. But the most disappointing thing, as I have to say, for yesterday was the Lakers had an awesome opportunity to go 2-0 in the Grizzlies because Morant was out again.
I like how Brooks got under LeBron's skin, and he's coming out in the media and talking a lot of trash. Like, yeah, he's the greatest, but on the court, he's just another man, and he's getting old, and I'm guarding him. And he's just like face to face with him. And hey, did you see that the NBA had a vote? Like they got like 100 anonymous players in the NBA to vote who's the GOAT, Michael Jordan or LeBron James.
Michael Jordan.
And Michael Jordan, it was like, I don't want to mess it up. It was like 60-40 or something. Like it was
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan was the GOAT. I thought that was funny.
I agree 100% with that. I agree 100% with that.
I think what LeBron's doing is amazing. I think he's going to be our generation's Michael Jordan and GOAT. I mean, he's the points leader. Like, I think the records he's broken. But again, 2 different time periods, it's hard to compare. But I just think what MJ did was good.
My thing is the NBA soft right now. I mean, you breathe on someone long, you're going to get like 40 foul shots a game. I mean, it's ridiculous the amount of foul attention that these guys get. Michael Jordan played during a time where you didn't get fouled over stupid fouls. You got knocked to the floor and there's a foul. Yeah. LeBron James is probably is better than Michael Jordan was at 38 years old. Let's face it, Michael Jordan didn't play until he was 38 years old. But
that's different with the whole people that we have to help train your body and massage you and diets and exercise.
Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is like this whole thing with that guy that was talking crap about LeBron, that would have motivated Michael Jordan. Nobody talked bad about Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan would have came out after you and he would have taken it to you. Yeah. And that's the difference between Michael Jordan and LeBron. LeBron might go say something on Twitter and say something like that. But another thing is who is this guy? This guy is Brooks, but this guy's a nobody. He's averaging 14 points a game this year. If If 5 years from now I mentioned his name, you'd be like, who did he play for? Nobody would know. but like I was saying, the Lakers, they blew an opportunity, and the Miami Heat blew up an opportunity. They could have went up 2-0 with Giannis out, and it just, those are the opportunities you have to take advantage of, and that's why the Lakers aren't going to go anywhere, unfortunately.
There's a lot of big stars that are kind of getting injured. Kawhi's not going to play Game 3. Oh crap! Who was I just gonna say is out? Oh, Murray's not Murray. John Morant's out.
But I think he's coming back. He took a hard fall. He came down.
Oh my
right
gosh, that was a hard fall. That video was
Yeah.
a hard fall.
Yeah, and same with Giannis. He took a hell of a fall.
His back was his back.
Yeah. But if those guys come back, I mean, they put up 138 points without him. And my thing is when you have the opportunity, you have to seize that opportunity and you have to go with it.
All right, I'm gonna read some stuff off to you, and you tell me who's gonna win the series. Sixers up 2-0 in the series to the Nets. Who do you think's taking that series? I'm taking Sixers. Sixers, yeah, 100%. I don't need to explain it. This one's interesting. Sacramento obviously up 2-0 to the Warriors. They're gonna be going home to the Warriors. Who are you taking here?
Without Draymond, though, Draymond got suspended.
What is it? 4 out of 7?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's the best of 7.
Dude,
I think it's the best of 7.
Could you imagine the Kings?
Only did best of 5.
Yeah. Could you imagine the Kings knock off Golden State the first round?
They got their first playoff win since like 1999.
Did you see how packed that stadium was on the inside and the outside?
Yeah.
Remember how like I would sit in this podcast, I'd be like, I couldn't even tell you anything about the Sacramento Kings. Like that, they put them on the map there that day.
Look, I honestly think
take a Sacramento. Fox is playing well.
I'm going the opposite way. I'm just going to take the Warriors. I think the Warriors are going to win the next couple games at home, and they're going to force it to a game 7. I think the problem with the Warriors is they're missing a true big man. They really are. But I think the Warriors are going to come back, even though they're losing 2-0. I'm gonna take the hot take and go Warriors.
So the Phoenix Suns and the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard's out for Game 3. It's a 1-1 series. They're playing today at 10:30 p.m. I think I'm going to take the Suns just because KD and Chris Paul coming out saying no one wants it more than me. Booger, I'm taking Suns in this one. I think Kawhi being out is huge.
I went to Clippers just because I can't stand Devin Booker. He's just so cocky and arrogant. I just no. And I'm not a big fan of the Clippers or the Suns, but I would like to see the Suns constantly fail in the playoffs.
All right. I went too far back.
Lakers, Grizzlies. I think that's the Grizzlies all day.
Lakers, Grizzlies. I'm actually. I'm taking Lakers.
Wow.
I think we take the Lakers. I don't want the Lakers to win, but I think the Lakers. Was Anthony Davis back? Did he get injured? Didn't he get injured?
He played last game. I don't know. Bucks Heat. I want to see the Heat upset the Bucks.
See, no, I don't. I want the Bucks to win because the Heat beat us every year in the playoffs.
I don't care. Miami doesn't have anything special. I don't think they'd make it past the second round, but I like to see I'm a big fan of upsets.
I think if Giannis comes back, I think the Bucks are taking that.
Oh, absolutely. That's a done deal. But I just think I think everyone has Milwaukee going to the finals. So it would be nice to see. Because look, honestly, as a Sixers fan, I don't see the Sixers getting past Toronto and getting past the Bucks. I mean, I think we can get past
Toronto.
But I'm just saying, I'm not Toronto. I mean, Boston.
I was gonna say this. I was literally gonna read. I was gonna read this game off and be like, "This is the team that scares me." Boston and the Hawks. Boston leads 2-0 in the series.
I don't mean Toronto. I mean Boston. I don't think the Sixers. I don't. That's tough for any team.
It's tough
to get past Boston, who's the number 2 seed, and if you get by them, go face Milwaukee in the championship round to go to the finals, and then come. I think if the Sixers get to the finals, look, I honestly think whoever makes it to the East championship and goes to the finals from the East, I think the East is winning the NBA title this year. I really do.
Yeah.
Even though I picked the Suns in some polls, and I don't think any team over there really scares me. I don't think the Grizzlies scare me. I don't think the Kings scare me. The Nuggets. I don't think Denver's all that good. I mean, They struggled the other night and allowed freaking the Timberwolves to score 40 points and shoot 80% in
Murray
the
just
third
got
quarter.
40 though. That was a big
Yeah.
game for him.
So I just think the championships coming out of the East is either going to be the Sixers, Milwaukee, or Boston. It's going to be one of those three teams.
I agree. You mentioned the Kings go to the championship. It'd be kind of crazy. Cavaliers Knicks series tied 1-1. I always forget the Spiders on the Cavaliers, Donovan Mitchell, but I would love to see the Knicks go far in the playoffs. I really would. So I'm taking them. I think the Knicks can do it. They're home tomorrow at 8:30 p.m.
I like the Knicks. I like Cleveland too. Cleveland
do
has
too.
They have a nice young team. I think they have more weapons than the Knicks, but I would go Knicks. I'll go Knicks.
And then you have the Nuggets and Timberwolves. Denver's leading 2-0. I'm taking Denver
That's
all
the
day.
Nuggets.
I don't think Timberwolves are sorry, Ace. I don't think they're gonna come back and win this one.
No, I honestly don't either. But yeah, when you're up 2-0, it's tough to come back from that. It really is.
All right, we'll move on to some MLB because that's probably the bigger section we have here, and I know we want to watch some of the Sixers game tonight. Just got an update on my phone. LA says 0% chance that they would deal Ohtani. True or false in your mind?
He's gonna be a Yankee next year.
You think so?
He's a free agent next year.
So you seen this report where LA remains firm on not trading away Shohei this season, even if they fall out of playoff contention. That doesn't mean next season, but
he's gonna be a Yankee next year. He came out today and said he loves playing in New York.
True or false, do you think that they won't trade him this year?
Well, he won't be traded this year.
Why not?
Not this year. Because I think they're going to ride it out. They're going to try to renegotiate his contract with him and try to get him to stay. And again, I mean, you wouldn't, unless they fell off and you could get a hell of a haul for him. But
is he a free agent after this season?
I think after this year, he's a free agent. My thing is why trade for somebody who is going to be a free agent? Why give up the farm for somebody who's going to walk?
But I mean, if you're a team like the Yankees and you have a good record and you add Shohei into that deal, like, could you imagine the Yankees with Ohtani? Here's my thing.
He's a lefty, and he's a pitcher. And
I think Ohtani is a very competitive guy. I don't think he's the kind of guy. I don't know Ohtani. I could be wrong. In my opinion, I don't think Ohtani is like the American culture where he will just take the biggest deal and not win. I think if the Angels are completely out of playoffs again this year, which they've been like every year he's been with the Angels.
He wants to play on a winning team.
I think he's going to be like, I'm out. Like, this is dumb. I don't like it at all.
Some of his old teammates from Japan came out and said that he'd love to be a Yankee. Because
the Yankees franchise always wants to win. We don't want to lose.
Yes. So we'll see what happens. I mean, money talks at the end of the day. Are the Yankees willing to spend that kind of a coin? But I think you get rid of Aaron Hicks and you get rid of some of these guys and you got yourself a new outfielder.
Imagine Vader out there with Judge and Ohtani.
You got yourself a pitcher, and at the same token, if you don't want him to play outfield and pitcher, maybe you teach him how to play first base.
Or he could DH.
First base. Yeah. So
Rizzo
my thing is
plays first base.
Money's going to talk. I mean, right now the Angels are in second place. They're 9-10, which is funny. The Rangers are the only team above 500 in that division, the AL West. The Astros are 9-10. They're sitting freaking 3.5 games back. So it's too early in the season to say whether or not somebody's out. But
the Yankees beat the Angels 9-3 today. And Nick said moved to 12-7. Yankees still
22 walks in 3 games. The Yankees had.
That's still some good baseball, man. The only team this year to have not lost a series.
Yeah.
It's a good stat to have. I'm really hoping that Carlos Rendon can come back soon. I've seen some updates about his back. I mean, you think about the pitcher right now. Nestor Cortez pitched a great game today. Garrett Cole, ERA of like .93 or something like that. Some young guys that are pitching well. Like, if we could get, like, that was such a big sign-in for us. And if we could get him back healthy, like, oh my goodness, look out for the Yankees.
I'm just starting to wonder what's going on with Yankee Stadium that we have all these freaking injuries. Giancarlo Stanton injured again. Giancarlo Stanton has only played 40% of the Yankees' regular season games since he's been there. Rondon, we don't even have our starting pitchers yet. We have 2 of our starting pitchers there, and then it's just been, Herman and this Brito kid who's been holding it together, and King and Clark Schmidt, and the Yankees are 12-7, 4 games out and not lost a series with an incomplete pitching staff.
I
which
think
is crazy.
I think what's frustrating for Stanton too is when Stanton plays, man, like he's playing well. And the past couple of years, he's been playing well, and it's sad to see him constantly deal with. I think it was a hamstring. You said, was that
Yeah,
what it was?
it's
And
soft tissue
and
injury, they
that's
call it.
that's a hard injury to recover from. I get like it's always a lingering thing. Harrison
But
Bader, I saw news on Harrison Bader that he's going to be starting his
his
rehab
rehab,
assignments, which is good because
so
we
is
thought
Sevy.
we thought that was a dumb trade at first last year. Well, I liked it, but then you were like, both were like, all right, he's injured. How long is he going to be injured? Will he even be good for our team?
Sevy
Shines in the playoffs.
Sevy actually struck out Bader today before the game.
Did he?
He pitched live practice, and they said Sevy after this game he's going back down to Tampa because we have a big series next with Toronto. Toronto's already in Yankee Stadium. They already had all their equipment there today. They had an off day, so we have a big series against them. You don't want to lose the series to them because they're right there with us.
I think that's our outfit. I think Cabrera in left, Bader in center, and a Judge in right. That's your solid outfield. That's your solid outfield.
You got to give props to the IKF. I know there's like Rudy and them. You guys don't really care for him. That guy has been willing to play any position just to be a Yankee. He played center field today, made 2 diving catches, had a big hit today, driving 2 runs. That guy, you know what? Never played outfield in his life. You're playing in center field today in Yankee Stadium with a big sky, and he made 2 amazing diving catches today.
That's what we call a team player. He wants
absolutely
to help his team win as much as he can in any position. And what does that look like for Hicks? You know, you're like, oh yeah, this sucks, man. Is what it is. I want to get rid of Hicks. Where's Donaldson? Is Donaldson playing?
He's hurt too. He's out. He's been hurt. And you know what the thing is too is they're not talking too much about his injury. So he was at the game today, but he was in like street clothes or whatever. But my thing is the one thing the Yankees have to improve on is, and we talk about this a lot. And by the way, since they went away from the shift, Rizzo, I think he's 4th in on base percentage in all of baseball. It's like 1.04 is on base percentages.
Wow.
They put Volpe up at leadoff. That kid's been on base 16 of the last 31.
See that beautiful play he had yesterday.
Look, he's walking, he's stealing, he's stolen 5 games straight. But the only thing that is killing the Yankees, and we talk about this all the time, and this is why they don't go far in the playoffs, is their on-base batting average is 232 with guys in scoring position.
Yeah, that's runners in scoring position.
You have got to improve that. You have got to. And if you look at these teams that are down here, I mean, you have Kansas City, which is expected batting 208, the Detroit Tigers batting 218, the Padres, who just dumped a boatload of money and are under 500, batting 223. Minnesota Twins, who are in first place, batting 224.
Yeah, their uniforms are fresh, by the way. The Twins uniforms.
Yeah. The Yankees are batting 232 with runners in scoring position, which has to change. That's the difference between going far in the playoffs and not. I mean, the Phillies, the Cubs, the Cardinals, the Blue Jays, the Braves, they're all batting over 250 in the top of the league. The Pirates batting 257. That's key because when you don't get those key hits, man.
Can we talk about the Pirates a second? Yeah, 12-7.
Yeah.
Who called? I remember Michael podcast. Remember like a month ago, 2 months ago, I said my hot take, Pirates gonna be a wild card team this year.
But the problem is they're in a tough division. You got the Brewers who are 14-5.
Yep,
you got the Cubs who are 11-6. The Cardinals are creeping up there at 8-11. The Reds are still there. I mean, that's a tough division. And that's what's funny. You look at the West, the NL West. You have the Dodgers, the Padres, these big spending teams. And the team that's leading that division is 11-8, the Diamondbacks, who just released Bumgarner today.
Yeah, they're playing well too, man.
Yeah, everything's wide open.
I think one thing that's just disappointing, bro, is the Athletics. Like, can we find them or something? 3 wins.
They want to go to Vegas, though. They seriously do. They have plans they just submitted plans for a new stadium. It's going to sit 33,000 people. It's going to have a retractable roof on the Vegas Strip. They won out. They went out in the worst way possible, and it's going to happen. The Coliseum is one of the worst stadiums in baseball. It's just, it hasn't been filled since the 90s when the Bash Brothers were there, back in the steroid era. And they just want to go, and the league has to step up and say, you know what? Okay, let's let them go, and let's go and call them the Vegas A's or whatever. Maybe they'll change their name. I don't know, the Vegas Strippers. I don't know, because it's just, it is what it is. And they've been talking about this for a while. And now they just got to go ahead and do it because it's not working.
Yeah. My last thing I want to say about baseball is most disappointing thing to me so far is the Phillies, man. Just with how much boatload of talent they've had on
Yeah.
their roster going into this offseason. 8
Injuries.
and 11 injury sucks. Hoskins gets injured in spring trade, and Bryce Harper, I believe, is
Ahead of
DH
schedule.
now. I think he's DH. He's able to DH now, and they've been playing him at first base, I think. But Marlins 10-9. That division is going to be interesting because Mets and Braves always have that random period throughout the year towards the end of the year where they start to plummet a little bit and the Phillies catch up. But yeah, also the most shocking though, like you said, is the Diamondbacks 11-8 in a division full of the Dodgers and the Padres and the Giants. I mean, you think about the Dodgers and the Padres, just how much money they dumped into their teams the past couple of years. And here
Yeah.
come the Diamondbacks, who I probably couldn't name one player in the Diamondbacks, maybe Nick Ahmed or Ahmed, however you say his last name.
Yeah, the Phillies right now are 23rd in ERA in pitching. I mean, 5.10 as a team ERA. They don't have the help. I mean, that's bad.
Yeah.
Houston, who had an amazing freaking pitching staff right now, is ERA is over 3. The Texas Rangers, who improved their pitching, that's a shocking team too. The Texas Rangers.
I said they were you got to watch out for them this year.
Yeah. But the Tampa Bay still leads the majors in ERA with a 2.57. Minnesota's still there at 2.69. Milwaukee, no one's talking about Milwaukee. They're sitting there at 2.96. And then the Yankees are the first team over 3 at 3.02. In the last 3, though, the Yankees pitching has been 1.93, where the Rays have been 2.77. The Yankees pitching is one of the best in the league in the last 3 games. The Cubs and Atlanta are sub 1 in the last 3 games, 0.67 and 0.69 for Atlanta. So pitching is everything. Pitching is everything.
I don't know if you want to dive into some football or if you want to watch some of the Sixers game before they get too deep into it.
We can jump into football next week. The draft's coming up, and right now, well, we can talk about real quick about quarterback salaries now that Jalen Hurts got paid $51 million a year. Football is out of control, and I know these guys going to get their money, but this is where Lamar
salary cap just keeps raising though, so it allows for it to happen.
Lamar needs to call Drew Rosenhaus, whatever his name is, the super agent that got Jalen Hurts' deal, and say, sorry, Mom, slide to the side. Because Jalen Hurts got $179 million guaranteed. You know, he gets $101 million as soon as he puts pen to paper.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So you know what the thing is Lamar Jackson's got to stop looking for that $200 million guaranteed, and he's got to come off there because the Eagles left $75 million on the table that he didn't get guaranteed. Nobody's giving out full contracts guaranteed anymore besides what Deshaun Watson got. So Lamar has to step aside and say, look, Mom, you did your best. Okay, Drew, come in and get me my contract because it's got to happen now. You got to get the deal done.
Yeah. I mean, congrats to Jalen Hurts, though. I mean, well
he
deserved.
Earned it.
He earned it. And it's just the way the system is. You know, it's a business.
And I guess it's 51 if he lives out the life of the contract. It averages out to 45 million if you go off the guaranteed money. So it's still great money. It's a great deal. Lamar, I think Lamar was offered 43 and he said no to that. So he's got to stop looking at, because Deshaun Watson is making 46 million a year. So
what are you waiting for?
Come on. But this is your top salaries right now for quarterbacks. You got Hurts at 51, Aaron Rodgers at 50, Russell Wilson at 48, Kyler Murray at 46, Deshaun Watson at 46, Patrick Mahomes, who was the top salary
at one point
a year ago,
year and a half
ago.
Kansas City Royals and everything, and now look at him. That's just the way it is.
And the thing that sucks now is this opens up for like people like Dak Prescott, who are Dak Prescott's going to restructure his deal or extension, and you know, if you give Dak $51 million, I mean, come on, that's like $1 million. That's $1 million. That's $1 million for interception. You know,
I get rid of him at that point.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys got to draft the quarterback, but I feel bad for Matt Stafford because there's rumors out there that Cooper Kupp's the next one to leave after they just got rid of Allen Robinson.
That was a good trade for the Steelers. That was a good trade for the Steelers.
They're saying Cooper Kupp's now on the market, so I feel bad for Stafford.
No shot. I would give up everything for him.
But they don't have anything left. I mean, they had their championship run, and now they just dismantled that whole team. And
everyone knew that was coming. I mean, you put everything in your basket to get that Super Bowl, and you got it. And now, unfortunately, you're starting to lose the pieces because you have to kind of start to rebuild a little bit.
But we talked about this before we came on the air. We were talking about the draft and everything, and they say There's so many rumors out there that's changing now. I mean, at one point they had 4 quarterbacks going in the top 10. Now they're saying Bryce Young's definitely going number 1 to Carolina. And they're saying after that, now the Texans aren't even sure if they want to, if they want a quarterback. They're talking about them taking Will Anderson Jr. from Alabama, an edge who's like the number 1 prospect ranking.
Watch the Texans and Trey Lance. That's all I'm saying.
Or
a veteran quarterback, and they draft wide receiver defense.
I think the draft's gonna get interesting after like the 15th pick. I think that's when you start getting interesting.
Yeah.
My thing is watch the Eagles at 10, because if the Eagles take Bijan Robinson, they came out today. Mike Florio came out today and said whoever gets Robinson, the Eagles, Cowboys, the Bills, automatically Super Bowl contenders. They said Robinson is by far the best athlete in this draft.
I agree.
There's the Eagles pick 10. If the Cowboys jump all the way to 9 for a running back, I'm done with the Cowboys, because you're going to be paying almost
go undefeated.
You're going to be paying almost $30 million in freaking running back salaries. You're going to be paying Zeke's contract off. You're going to be paying for Robinson, and you're paying $10 million to freaking Pollard.
Yeah, I know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think you give Pollard. The chance to be the starter, and you draft a guy in like the 3rd or 4th round.
My thing is they got the Cowboys taking a tight end too. Like, come on, man, you don't want to take a tight end in the 1st round. Michael Mayer's.
I've heard there's some good tight ends though.
But you know what? It's a real loaded tight end draft. It's probably the 2nd highest position in the draft as far as talent. You got to go defensive tackle, man. You got to get like Mazi Smith from Michigan.
Smith, I wanted to go
you
to the Saints.
Jump up. You got to jump up and get Jalen Carter, the one that from Alabama. You gotta be smart here, man.
Yeah.
You don't have to waste a 1st round pick on a tight end. You really don't.
Well, I would say we could dive into the draft next week with Ace on Monday before the draft. I'm happy the draft's coming up though, because I feel like I almost forgot about the Saints, because you're in this weird period where like that 1st quarter of the offseason, there was so much happening. I mean, we had Ross Jackson on talking about it and just all the crazy events. And then you just like hit this fog where nothing happens. OBJ signed. That was like the biggest thing.
They just said
waiting. Good.
It just came across the line on my phone. CeeDee Lamb's 5th-year option was picked up, so Dallas will hold on to him for 2 more years.
That's good.
They're trying to work out an extension with him and Diggs. But the thing is football's starting now. I mean, they already have those little camps going on.
Football's starting. It's getting close.
Dak Prescott has that 50-yard field in his backyard. He had all the receivers over, the offensive line over. He had Zeke over. So
he had Zeke over.
Zeke was at his house. No one picked Zeke up yet. So maybe
they're
Dallas
good
should
friends.
offer him $2 million. Maybe Dallas should offer him $2 million a year.
I think Dallas should offer him a cheap deal.
Yeah.
They don't even have to worry about running back in the draft. You still have Tony Pollard. You still have Zeke.
Come on back for a 2-year deal.
I think Zeke would take the low deal. I don't think he wants a high deal.
Nobody wants him. I mean, he might have to go to the USFL or the XFL.
He ain't gonna do that.
I'm just saying, nobody wants him. Nobody wants him. So he's got to make up his mind. But yeah, it's gonna be a big week, because now you're gonna hear all the rumors, all the speculations.
It's gonna be a big week.
I saw one of the drafts where they have the Saints taking that Hyatt guy, that receiver from Tennessee. They say he is the best receiver in the draft.
I've seen the Saints taking a receiver or a defensive tackle like Mazi Smith or the Georgia guy. I think either one I'd like. I like the addition of another receiver, but also like we could use some fat boys to fill the holes. Like we lost a couple guys, but I saw
Mazi Smith to the Saints on several freaking drafts.
I did too, and I would take that.
Dude, I heard today too that there's a lot of receivers under the 6 foot mark, like 5'9", 5'8", that are dominating the headlines. That these big receivers are.
I think this is going to be an interesting draft, because I could see Bryce Young not going number 1. Like I could see Carolina out of nowhere saying, you know what, we're going to take Anthony Richardson, and then it's just, everyone's gonna be like, oh, what's going on? Will the Texans take Bryce Young? Will they? And then watch the Texans take a defensive player, and then everybody is just like.
Look, the thing I like about what I heard from Dallas is that Stephen Jones came on and said, we have no real big holes. We had a great offseason picking up players. So it's going to be best player available. So, like, if there's a good defensive tackle there, or if Robinson is there, Bijan Robinson is there, or there's a good cornerback there, and they go tight end, Man, I'm gonna be so mad.
What do you guys got? Like the 28th, 30th pick, something like that?
26th.
I think if the Eagles pass on Bijan Robinson and it's like number 15, I'd trade him and get him.
I don't know if I'd trade up to it. I'm not a big fan of trading up future picks. I'm a big trade down guy. Like if I'm the Texans, and I know someone behind me wants a quarterback and I'm not ready to take a quarterback, I'm trading down because I'm getting this first round draft, their pick, and I'm getting next year's first round draft pick.
Do you know what I'm doing if I'm the Texans? They have 2 first round picks, I believe. I'm taking CJ Stroud and I'm taking their best receiver at Ohio State. He just like Jamar Chase and Burrows, like that's what I'm doing.
And Mike Florio came out today and said he thinks that the Aaron Rodgers deal will be done by Friday of next week after the draft. But he said there's teams like the 49ers. If Brock Purdy's stats stuff comes back and says that he's not ready to play, and they're taking phone calls right now for the backup
Trey
Lance.
They're taking calls.
They're saying Aaron Rodgers could end up landing in San Francisco.
Dude, I could see it. If they trade Trey Lance, I could see it.
Look, I applaud the Jets. I would not want to give up a first-round pick. I would not want to overpay for a quarterback who's 38 years old and can retire. But I heard someone else said today, what I would do is I would offer them a second-round pick, and I would offer them a third-round pick for every year he plays. So if he plays this year, third-round pick. He plays next year, you get a third-round pick. Can continue it going as long as he plays. That's what I would do.
I agree.
But I would not give up a first-round pick for a guy who could be like, okay, yep, we went 6 and 11, and I'm retiring.
Yeah, me too. I agree.
Not worth it.
I agree.
But that's all I got, man. It's going to get interesting. It's going to get interesting.
It's going to be real interesting. Well, we hope you guys have enjoyed this. You can check out our faces right now on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Share the love on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you find your podcasts. Is where we're at. You can find us. We'll be back next week for the pre-draft. I'm gonna try and go to the game tomorrow. Maybe get some interviews on the sidelines as they're skating.
When Aaron comes back, we got to talk about his trip to Kansas City.
I saw
he
some cool
talking
photos
about barbecue, and I gotta educate him on barbecue because that Kansas City stuff is sloppy.
Yeah, you do. But hey, we hope you all enjoy the rest of your week. Have a good weekend, and just enjoy our voices this weekend. All right, we'll see you guys.
Peace.